Kaunanipenda to my fair in advance. When you mefika, no romance with no finance. Only fans, yeah, yeah, only fans. When you mefika, nafungua only fans. Kaunanipenda to my fair in advance. When you mefika, no romance with no finance. Only fans, yeah, yeah.
Kuja kwako, oh yo, steady grinding all night long. Na sikuji kasi form ya door, itabidi ukanje ndo tupige show. Ukisikia sauti solo jue ni kubaya. Hii muziki ya Kenya twaipeleka Ulaya. Na temperature inapanda warazi wanakwaya. Tutashinda magrami before tumeretire. Me say only fans, pale mefika natambua only fans. Kanika kitu mtumia only fans, pale mefika nafanyia only fans. Only fans, yeah, yeah, only fans. Pale mefika natambua only fans. Kanika kitu mtumia only fans, pale mefika mutambua only fans. Only fans, yeah, yeah.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Our radio. GL.
Nani cheesy kama yeah. I've been faded, I've been naked, in different places, many faces, X-rated, yeah. I've been patient, I've been waiting. No other one that's come around can do the things you do. Who keep come around, we smoke a lot. Canadian pot, cheese and bomb. Catch a wine, dance along. Bounce along, baby, bounce along. Wine and dine, made your mind. It's a clear sign that no other one that's come around can do the things you do. Nobody else can match my energy. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. We up all night and still we tryna be busy on the AM. Cheesy come on, yeah, 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 yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah.
I've been faded, serenaded, celebrated. Ooh, very patient. See, I'm not so complicated. Ooh, kakwama on my mind. Your toes are juicy, align. Moyo kapiga sign, kisha underline. Only free because you let me be. That's the love I want for me. Long time was so baridi. Can't deny the chemistry. Ukakwama on my mind. Tuka alive. Tuka bigger sign.
Nobody else can match my energy. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah. We up all night and still we tryna be busy on the AM. Cheesy come on, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah. Oh yeah.
From sunrise
got
to
the beautiful Miss V on them vocals.
Power Radio.
Calligraph Jones in the place. Rabbit. Teamwork. Let's get it.
From outer space, out of this world, we come in peace, tell your master all. We are taking over this place right now. But bring your crew, you can let them know. We in town, they should dress up for the show. We are bringing down this town tonight, oh. In an African party, we stomp our feet on the ground. We raise our hands in the air and say, hey, hey, hey. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mkono juu. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, mpaka kesho jo. Washanare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu.
Imagine, hivyo ndo muingianga kwa klabu au jasikia tunakula life na adabu na masela sela. Wana hela hela umenijazika hiu mase hela hela ni jui basi tela ni king kaka king of Zamunda. Tuko ndani na tumedunga kaka clothing we bado mtumba. Mina manager tuko tight anajua mini spend thrift. Meza drinks nimezipanga kama type dress.
In an African party, we stomp our feet on the ground. We raise our hands in the air and say, hey, hey, hey. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mkono juu. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Mpaka kesho jo. Washanare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu.
Bro, check it, yow. I go like boom, 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 boom. Mikono kwa hewa nikifika tu kwa boom, 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 boom. As I be rolling when I be the cruise, so boom, boom. Get out the way. I'm feeling like money today. I'm here to pour it up all over the club. I'm willing to pay, so that's our plan to go and tap it. Hey y'all, fee what up, let's make it happen. I'm here to get it crackin'. Shorties are telling me that I'm attractive, cause they be feeling the swag, I'm classic. Call me Papa Jones, and that's it. That's it. I'm on.
Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mkono juu. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Mpaka kesho jo. Washanare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu. Luka, oh. Dunda, Luka.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. Magic anger on the beat.
Sweet as fire, down and make us a bonita. Magic sang upon this one.
And I boy,
Make it again, you come a pilot. Achini, sishuki tena. Wakipiga mbea kama pilot. Wambie kwa komi mwema mani nganganie tena. Wakichocha bibi nishikilie vyema. Wakipiga jungu ninganganie tena. Wakichocha baby nishikilie vyema.
Party boss, yeah. And I boy got the game locked. Mpaka lini nitawambia maisha London. Dealing with a boss, said you know that. Atubadilisha channel and the program. Saka, a girlfriend, I'm loving your vibe. Hapa kamewaka moto kolo 99. Basi njo close kidogo. Nitupe lugo nitoe njeve kidogo. Nipe joto. Baby nakutaka we sitaki nobody else. Uyo fala jo muulize we nani. Nakupa tam tumalize na makadi. Sisari, anai boy.
Nikirege juu kama pilot. Achini sishuki tena. Wakipiga mbea kama pilot. wambie kwa komi mwema mani nganganie, nganganie, nganganie tena. Wakichocha bibi nishikilie, nishikilie, nishikilie vyema. Wakipiga jungu ninganganie, ninganganie, ninganganie tena. Wakichocha bibi nishikilie, nishikilie, nishikilie vyema. Say my boo, strike around you. Kwako mikirege kwa pitching talent you. Say you, but think me I go do. Bust up me brain go gani go full. Then a bad man wanna live with you. Them say you bad girl but me satisfy you. Look so fine mama tempted to touch. I love your boogie dance baby one to the top. Mikirege you kama pilot. Achini sishuki tena. Wakipiga mbea kama pilot. Wambie kwa komi mwema mani nganganie, nganganie, nganganie tena. Wakichocha bibi nishikilie, nishikilie, nishikilie vyema. Wakipiga jungu ninganganie, ninganganie, ninganganie tena. Wakichocha bibi nishikilie, nishikilie, nishikilie vyema.
Ache wakule kwa macho, ni wapetishi wafute na jasho. Tumematch karedi na purple. Baby mama washa fire hapo kwa dance floor. Ufurahi ni furahi, niko na suti ni petai. Weni aro mi masai, tukunye kahawa githurai. Nipige munju ni kwe high, ni kama clouds in the sky. Niko na jeans dunga Nike, niko na jeans dunga tao. Wanna dice peace niko local. Wakikuja na watoa moko moko. They wanna play the game hisi loto. Dawa ya wakubwa eka mbali na watoto.
Mikirege juu kama pilot. Achini sishuki tena. Wakipiga mbea kama pilot. Wambie kwa komi mwema mani nganganie, nganganie, nganganie tena. Wakichocha bibi nishikilie, nishikilie, nishikilie vyema. Wakipiga jungu ninganganie, ninganganie, ninganganie tena. Wakichocha bibi nishikilie, nishikilie, nishikilie vyema.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
A very good morning to you. Happy Friday. This is the second day of August. I do not know where 2024 is running to, but we are going to just work with what we have. Happy new month. My name is Wanyoike, and I am officially welcoming you to our ship as we cruise from 8 a.m. all the way till 10 a.m. This is the Power Morning Drive Show on Power Radio. Kama kawaida, you know how we do it. We start off with the day's traffic updates because we need to get you to work, and then we get into our news, local and international news roundup. So you do want to stick around for that. But remember, you can get in touch with us on our social media handles. We are at Power Radio. We are across social media where we talk about Instagram, Facebook. We are on TikTok, and also we are on X. You can also catch this live broadcast on our YouTube channel. We are at Power Radio. If you've not yet subscribed, kindly do the needful. It goes a very long way for us. And of course, we are also on our streaming live on our website. We are www.power254.org/power radio. Now, let's get into some traffic updates. But, the schools have officially closed. So a lot of roads today are looking not too shabby. But let's start off with Thika Road, the king of traffic roads in this Nairobi. Kama kawaida from KCB Sports Club, that area around KCA University, as you go down towards the intersection of Muranga Road, things are absolutely crazy, bumper to bumper, but it clears out after you get into Muranga Road as you head towards Globe Cinema. Let's go to Westlands along Wanyoike Way. Things are looking not so bad, actually. Again, the schools have closed, so we do not have a lot of traffic today morning in most major roads. But from the mall area going down towards town as you head towards Uhuru Highway, things are looking a little bit snarly, but at least it's moving slow but moving. So that's pretty much what is going there. Limuru Road looking good until you get to the area of around Aga Khan Hospital, and then things get a little bit crazier, but moves from that point going forward. We also have, where is this, Lower Kabete Road, absolutely clear, nothing much is going on that road. It's a shocker that Ngong Road is also looking clear today. Nothing much is going on there. Just a little bit of a snarl up around Prestige Margarine? Prestige Plaza, but it clears out after that. Raila Odinga Way, absolutely smooth. It's gobsmacking even to me, but that's what is happening right now. We also have Agwings Kothek Road. Things are looking pretty smooth in the morning. Valley Road also looking so good as you head towards town from that area of St. Andrews. Just a little bit of a snarler, but it clears out after that. We also have Jogoo Road. Now, Jogoo Road is crazy. It's bumper to bumper, especially as you go from town, as you head into town. I mean, from Jogoo Road into town, it's looking a little bit crazy, but not as crazy because I can see that things are moving from that. Mombasa Road as well, from Bellevue, just a little bit of a snarl up there, but slow but moving. From all the way from Panari Sky Center, as you go towards the Bellevue area, we can see that things are moving slowly but surely. So yeah, in case of any accidents or incidents, do let us know. Our hashtag is Power Morning Drive Show, and you can get in touch with us on our social media platforms. Just as I had mentioned earlier, we are at Power Radio across all social media platforms. All right. We get you to work, and then we give you the news update. So let's get some music, and then I'll come back with the day's news headlines, both locally and internationally. This is Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Beats. K. Jones. If everybody hating, the game is a mess. But I do it for the fame and the checks. You really wanna know about the name with the best? Yeah, I'm flossing. Check out the chains on my neck and the way I'm rocking the beat, it's like a mystery. Is everybody really trying to diss me? So while you doing that, I'll be making history. And I'll be rocking the mic till I'm 50. Strictly, yeah, I do it for the fans. And the plan is to make everybody understand that the man is all about making a lot of brands. Still wanna know why my music is on demand, cause I stay on the grind every day. Never give a damn what the people gon' say. This ain't free, this time you gotta pay. 1960, that's where I lay. Everybody from the east to the west like, you know you be rocking with the best like, your boy always pressed to impress like, and now we be on to the next like, cause we got it like, Eastlands, yo, we had it like, Westlands, yo, we had it like, Uptown, yo, we had it like, cause we got it like, yo, we had it like. Hey y'all, 1960 holler. It has never been done. I'm mixing hip-hop with Lingala. The combination is tight and real. Not the Western rappers wanna bite the skill. Every page that I open is like a new chapter. Rap's a Bible, then I'm a true pastor. They come too slow, then I come through faster. Shit that then over the monkey damn flu bastard. I make it happen, everybody should be clapping. And the cheddar we be stacking. All the shorties you be tapping. Got everything you be lacking. Yeah, I get it popping. And when I get to rapping, you know I'm never stopping. From Kayole, I'm taking it to Congo. Tuko Anza Juicy to Lianza Kitambo. We go hard and we never stay soft. One time a salute. Everybody from the east to the west like, you know you be rocking with the best like, your boy always pressed to impress like, and now we be on to the next like, cause we got it like, Eastlands, yo, we had it like, Westlands, yo, we had it like, Uptown, yo, we had it like, cause we got it like, yo, we had it like.
Bapodinga na pakolaka zote koma sembe sembe okopetenga nazoka lobi nazwa maladi ya cancer lobi tango na popola yo kiminga ye.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
So blessed, never stress na finesse hizi shida. Kila zikiniona zinapita. Niko pilka pilka, mali nahitajika sijafika. Stop kimi mbona nimeficha. Na kama umelala basi boy and with ya sidina watu wa kuchoma picha. Nadai kuivisha kujijenga for the morning. Nadai ku get my dog who have my dep for the morning. Nika on. Do a form. Nika on. Do a form. Kaniform iwe ya nguvu, dash kaniform ya ududu, pole ni husu upu. Waste my time ni vurugu, na kamtuki one man na bado sijishuku. Cheki jom supu, kuna venye umeiva, babe umekosa tu vitungu. No kieza zigedi, shitakuwa set, na unajua babe venye si ududu. Nika on. Do a form. Nika on. Do a form. True, kama liko juu, fika bei ndugu. Kangumu basi ora by shoe. Kazi kwako utadu. You had one job, I never came through. I swear I'm on a mission now. You know Chris Tiger pull the crowd. Niki come in a die my thou. Nika on and you know what I'm about. What's that? Nika on. Do a form. Nika on. Do a form.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Niwe na hepa kukucheki. Anipenda nimemwacha nyumbani, yeye hajui. Baby wanichanganya zingua maliza mimi sijiwezi. Ni makosa baby, forbidden fruit so sweet. Naenda mimi sitabaki. Twajiweka shimoni, this is where we end. Yeah. 'Cause you're taboo. Oh yeah, wewe ni tabu. Wewe ni tabu tubu. 'Cause you're taboo. Oh yeah, wewe ni tabu. Wewe ni tabu tubu. Acha kunishika mkono hivo. Ninahisi mengi ila ninajua kuna kikomo. Si upendo ni mchezo, uongo si tumeamini. Najaribu kumpenda niliye naye, but wanna let me be. Naenda mimi sitabaki. Twajiweka shimoni, this is where we end. Yeah. 'Cause you're taboo. Oh yeah, wewe ni tabu. Wewe ni tabu tubu. 'Cause you're taboo. Oh yeah, wewe ni tabu. Hashimoni, this is where we end. Yeah, 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 yeah. 'Cause you're taboo. Oh yeah, wewe ni taboo, 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 taboo. Wewe ni taboo, taboo. 'Cause you're taboo. Oh yeah, wewe ni taboo, 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 taboo. Wewe ni taboo, taboo.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Miss Fee with Taboo, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Anne Wanyoike, and as promised, let's get into it because a lot has been happening on this side of the Sahara. Now, we start off with the Standard newspaper, which actually is, I've just noticed that that's where I base a lot of my local and international news. So we have a story there on the page. Of course, the big story that everybody is talking about, or rather the big story from what was happening yesterday, is the cabinet secretary nominations vetting process that was happening yesterday. So the page cover of the Standards, no sparks as 2.5 billion Kenya shillings nominees face test. We have that story. We also have Nairobi police boss victims keen at IPOA, a story about that on page 6. Kalonzo Kioni throw weight behind Rigathi Gachagua, national page 4 of the Standard. We also have a story about anger over Hamas chief killing that will be later on our international news roundup. But now let's get into it. On turning the page 2 of the Standard newspaper. So yesterday we witnessed a very, I would not call it a very rigorous vetting process because, well, it could be rigorous to some extent, but we shall be talking a little bit about that. Today's, actually, it forms the basis of our discussion for today, which is an analysis of how the vetting process of the cabinet secretaries went yesterday. A lot of questions came up in terms of, integrity questions. We also have declarations of wealth publicly from cabinet secretaries or the nominees of these ministries. But let's just go straight to the story on page 2 of the Standard newspaper, and it is titled, Cartels Graft at Health Ministry Will Test Nerve of Ruto's Nominee. Now, Health Cabinet Secretary nominee Dr. Deborah Barasa faced intense scrutiny yesterday as she defended her ability to combat corruption and implement effective policies in the ministry. The vetting committee, led by National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula, acknowledged Barasa's qualifications but demanded a clear plan for managing the ministry. House Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah expressed doubts about her capability to handle cartels within Afya House and corruption at the National Hospital Insurance Fund and Kenya Medical Supplies Agency. Now, you will remember that this is not a very new issue because the health ministry has been quite troubled, just given the ouster of the former cabinet secretary, Miss Susan Nakumicha. There was a lot of allegations of corruption. We also had a lot of malfunction that was very prevalent during her tenure as the cabinet secretary. Of course, there was the issue of lack of supplies, proper medical supplies. We also had a lot of a very prolonged doctors and nurses strike during her tenure as well. A lot of medicine that was not stocked properly, lack of facilitation of hospitals. So a lot of these things that were happening. We also saw during her tenure, now this is the former cabinet secretary, Susan Nakumicha, questions around the health the NSSF basically. And so of course it's not a new thing that when the new, or the rather would I say the incumbent nominee, Ms. Susan Barasa, the Dr. Deborah Barasa, it's what cabinet, some ministries are very hot button areas, and health seems to be one of them, because they are very I would say they seem to be very, all ministries are to be taken with absolute intention, and the delicate integrity that they require, but specifically the health one needs to be taken to a very, very much deeper account. And of course it's one of the most funded ministries as well, so a lot of questions that were coming out of that. But let's look at her at a glance. So see, 466 million Kenya shillings, that is what her net worth was, according to her, jointly with her husband, as she claimed. Then between 2001 and 2006, Barasa studied Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery at the University of Nairobi. Then between 2012 to 2017, she procured a master's degree in international medicine at University of Nairobi. Currently, she's undertaking an MSc in infectious diseases from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. Now, let's continue with what the story is saying on this end. Now, some other scandals have been reported at the NHIF, where managers have been accused of colluding with private hospitals to steal billions of shillings, and non-procedural procurement processes undertaken at KEMSA. Again, I will apply consultative efforts. It is important to think strategically. I will conduct a situational analysis and see where the gaps are. This is the cabinet secretary, while during her vetting process, she was able to say that these are some of the things that she would be wanting to do. Then we also had Kilifi North MP Owen Baya asking the cabinet secretary nominee to share her leadership skills and her understanding of policy on handling the health sector. Sabaot MP Caleb Amisi said that despite being a technical ministry, politics also takes center stage as well. Then this is what she answered. From a leadership and management perspective, it is always consultative. These people have been there. They understand the situation and gaps. We need to identify gaps and come up with improvement plans. It is critical to bring people together to synergize and improve services, Barasa explained. The cabinet secretary nominee told the vetting panel that Nairobi currently hosts World Health Organization expatriates who contribute to the country's economy by purchasing locally available items. But there was some the vetting process did come under fire because, one, there was claims of insufficient public participation. Now, the standard goes on to say that the transition of health schemes has faced roadblocks, with the High Court recently declaring the NHIF unconstitutional the SHIF unconstitutional due to insufficient public participation. Barasa pledged to ensure Linda Mama is incorporated into SHA, citing her experience as a beneficiary. Deputy Speaker Gladys Sholei interrupted Barasa's response on NHIF's human resources, expressing concerns about potential future debates. All NHIF employees will be reassessed, and if suitable, absorbed. Some have skills that don't match their current roles, Sholei stated. So that is what was happening on the key hot button area of the vetting process of Miss Dr. Deborah Barasa before the vetting panel yesterday. But something that I want to zero in on is the fact that she's coming in, and of course we've heard from Mr. Amisi there. He was asking about politics being a part of these big ministries. We also have corruption being a very major issue or concern, and she was able to say that she will be able to go through some consultative processes if she was to get into that ministry, and to ensure that she understands what the gaps are. And the rhetoric from the public yesterday, I was seeing some tweets, of course, Kenyans on Twitter are never late with anything, and there seemed to be some sort of disappointment from the public, stating that they didn't find the process rigorous enough or exhaustive enough. First of all, it is expected that we should have memoranda that is sent before Parliament, so that we could give way for petitions or anyone who would love to contest against some nominations or against some nominees of these said ministries. And we will get into some of the members that got memoranda. And yes, so we will get into that discussion. I know Murkomen was top tier. He was ahead of the game with 92 memoranda to contest against his nomination in the youth in the youth and sports, and culture docket as well. But moving on, we have this third page of the Standard. Police brutality during riots haunts Kindiki. Now, the Interior Cabinet Secretary nominee is Professor Kithure Kindiki, and he was also under fire yesterday. Now, we have a story here that states Interior Cabinet Secretary nominee Professor Kithure Kindiki was yesterday confronted by the ghost of police killings of protesters when he met the parliamentary committee vetting him. The former Interior Cabinet Secretary evaded responsibility for incidents of police brutality, laying blame on the National Police Service, whose conduct during the protests he would praise. Kindiki told the National Assembly Committee on Appointments that he was only in charge of offering policy directions to the NPS, arguing that command responsibility rested with the Inspector General of Police. Ministers don't instruct operations, that's what he said. And they instruct policy. I can only resign if my policy instruction is unconstitutional. Kindiki told the Speaker, Moses Wetangula-led committee, even as he promised to hold accountable overbearing officers if reappointed to the Interior Ministry. Yesterday, the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi also said it was keenly watching the vetting process. In a statement, the embassy said, as Kenyans look ahead to the vetting of cabinet nominees, beginning today, we recognize the importance of integrity in public service and the National Assembly vital role in upholding Chapter 6 of Kenya's Constitution. So some of the questions there that were raised to Professor Kindiki, and of course we're going to be looking, a big eye will be on what he does next. Are these police who were, involved in killings, in forceful abductions, arrests as well, are they going to be put to account? We have bodies like the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, been mandated to carry out such oversighting mandates over police officers that were involved in police brutality. And so a lot of questions, definitely, we can expect him to be on the fire in terms of keeping up to speed with what will be happening from that point going forward. We also have Education Cabinet Secretary nominee Mr. Julius Migosi, who was also under the vetting panel yesterday. And he said that if approved, he might consider a hybrid system where some students would attend classes in nearby secondary schools. We also have Mr. Migosi, however, said the current plan to keep junior secondary schools in primary schools will remain. He also went on to say that the presidential working party went through public participation and agreed to domicile the classes in primary school, but in areas where there will be a shortage, then we can have some students proceed to existing secondary schools. I am ready to take the position in the best interest of the children of Kenya, and I have the courage to do that. Also, I remember when he was asked about his wealth declaration, he said he's worth 790 million shillings as well. So it would be interesting to see if indeed this hybrid model that he is talking about would come into effect, and if at all it comes to effect, what change or revolution will it, and how will it revolutionize how education is done in this country. But then some other place that we saw a lot of grilling was Land Cabinet Secretary nominee Alice Wahome had a hard time explaining her office's relationship with the National Land Commission when she appeared for vetting yesterday. According to the Standard, Wahome, who appeared before the vetting committee chaired by National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula, was challenged over claims that she had never held a formal meeting with the NLC commissioners. Wahome told the vetting committee that 106,000 youths have been employed under the Affordable Housing Program, and 48,000 housing units are in different stages of construction across the country. She assured that the program would extend to rural areas. Wahome also responding to Pokot South MP David Kosing, who asked her to state the housing plan for rural areas. Wahome affirmed that rural communities are also entitled to decent housing and that the program would reach them whatsoever. So again, a lot of questions there from this cabinet secretary nominees, and so it's a very busy week, month, I would also say, for Ruto as well as his administration, so that we can know exactly who is going to be carrying the baton and carrying forward the various ministries and under whose leadership that is going to be happening. All right. Let's me get some a glass of water, and then we continue with our local and international news headlines. This is Pawa Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Pawa Radio.
Another day, another crisis. Keyboard warrior still typing. Mini lava siku hizi spendi fighting. Na maheta hawawezi ntoa timing. Na hata wakinita guide, I know my baby will be by me. Na wakiniseti kwa IG, dawa ya watiaji huwanga silence. Niko sherehe mina vibe, nanyi munani analyze. Who I wonder why, me I'm just tryna catch a wine. We shughulika na your life. Niko sherehe mina vibe, nanyi munani analyze. Who I wonder why, I'm just tryna catch a wine. We shughulika na your life. Cheki zangu zime nice. Don't you disrespect my lover. Sina noma my guy. Tonight I don't want no drama. Sina noma my guy. Chaber dongingero anahero gasianda. Sina noma my guy. Leo ni party hadi mchana. Sina noma my guy. Sherehe na piganga na kikosi. Kwa mfuko pesa haikosi. Mademu wananitanga kiongozi. Vile mimi hutesanga Nairobi. Sele zimeripoti. Chini tuko kwa magoti. Aki wewe usinirekodi. Kesho nipate mmesha niposti. Niko sherehe mina vibe. Nanyi munani analyze. Who I wonder why, me I'm just tryna catch a wine. We shughulika na your life. Niko sherehe mina vibe. Nanyi munani analyze. Ooh, I wonder why, I'm just tryna catch a wine. We shughulika na your life. Cheki zangu zime nice. Don't you disrespect my lover. Sina noma my guy. Tonight I don't want no drama. Sina noma my guy. Chaber dongingero anahero gasianda. Sina noma my guy. Leo ni party hadi mchana. Sina noma my guy. Sina noma. Sina noma my guy. Sina noma. Sina noma my guy. Sina Sinanoma, my guy. Chape domine wana hero kasienda. Sinanoma, my guy. Nekakana we, nekakana we, nekakana we. Oh, lady, nekakana we, nekakana we, nekakana we.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. Of music all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Gilad with his song Milele, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is a Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike, and we continue with our news roundup. Now, something interesting is that yesterday, that's the 1st of August, marks how many years? Since the 1982 coup d'etat attempt. And if you want to catch the glimpse of what happened during 1982 coup attempt, you can grab your copy of the Daily Nation. That story is well played and put together on page 2 to page 3 of the Daily Nation. All right. We also have an international story here. Now we cross borders to Gaza. Of course, there has been a lot that has been happening between the Israeli-Palestinian war still continuing. But there's a story here on the page 21 of the Standard newspaper. Now, Iran held a funeral ceremony on Thursday with calls for revenge after the killing in Tehran of Hamas political chief Ismail Haniyeh in a strike blamed on Israel. The Islamic Republic's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, led prayers for Haniyeh ahead of his burial in Qatar, having earlier threatened a harsh punishment for his killing. In Tehran city center, thousands of mourning crowds carrying posters of Haniyeh and Palestinian flags gathered for the ceremony of Tehran University before a procession, according to an AFP correspondent. Iran's Revolutionary Guards announced Haniyeh's death the day before. They said he and a bodyguard were killed in a strike on their accommodation in the Iranian capital at 2 a.m. on Wednesday. It came just hours after Israel targeted and killed top Hezbollah commander Fuad Shukr in a retaliatory strike on the Lebanese capital, Beirut, raising fears of a wider regional conflict as the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza continues. We also have a story here. We head out to Nigeria now, where Nigerian troops and police tightened security in Lagos and the capital Abuja on Thursday as they prepared for planned protests over the cost of living. Africa's most populous country, struggling with soaring inflation and sharply devalued naira currency after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu introduced reforms a year ago that aimed to revive the economy. Tag and bad governance in Nigeria. Hashtag. The protest movement has won support with an online campaign among Nigerians who are battling with food inflation at 40% and fuel prices that tripled since Tinubu introduced his urgent reforms. In Abuja, security forces blocked off roads leading to Eagle Square, one of the planned protest sites, while in Lagos, police and soldiers were placed at strategic points, including at the Lekki toll gate, where protests in 2020 ended in bloodshed. You also remember the NSARS movement. Early turnout in the capital and in Lagos was slim, with only a few dozen protesters outside the National Stadium in Abuja, and police outnumbering the dozens more demonstrators in the Ikeja area of Lagos. So I think, again, we definitely are seeing a rise, an increase in I would say an increase in uprisings, especially political uprisings from citizens across many nations, across many governments in the world. I think with the virality of social media, now what's happening in one end of the country is able to attract the audience of what is happening in other countries as well. And I think there is a shared sort of feeling, or there's a shared commonality of what many people are experiencing. We like hearing things like we live in a global village, and of course that's true, because when for example Russia and Ukraine are at it, here oil prices are automatically affected. And so because of this interconnectedness and interwovenness of just how we live as a global village, either socially, politically, and also economically, for the most part, I think the movements and the revolutions that we are seeing are going to continue happening. You know, it might not have started in Kenya, but I know this Kenyan one has a very peculiar components and factors to it. And so of course now we're seeing the protests happening in the United Arab Emirates. We also have the Venezuelan people protesting against the Maduro government as well. And now Nigeria has taken to the streets because of inflation and the high cost of living as well. And I can promise you, I can almost tell you that we are going to see a lot more countries just coming up against the governments and revolting and asking for service delivery and asking for better from their governments as well, because again, that's the kind of world that we are showing up in. That's the kind of world that we are living in, where people are very informed, right? Very informed about what their governments should be able to do for them. And it's as if for the first time ever, people are not scared of asking and demanding for better. You know, when you are empowered from a place of just even bare minimum, from a place of knowledge, it's easier for you to advocate and for you to fight for what you're fighting for. Vis-a-vis when when you're in the dark, when you do not absolutely have no clue of where you're coming from, what is your role as a citizen, and where do you participate from. And that's why we have shows like Retai, which happen every Wednesday, where we get to teach the public about their roles and responsibilities and what their part to play in terms of asking and demanding for better look like. So you can go on to our Power Radio YouTube channel and look for that playlist, because all the shows are still there, as well as all the other shows, if you want to be up to speed with what is happening. But that story right there puts a full stop and a pin to our local and international news roundup. Now we get into our second half of the hour as we talk about the cabinet secretary. Just a little analysis of what we saw yesterday during the cabinet secretary nominations, nominee votings. And so I did mention that we will be looking at some of the things that were able to rise up. We also shall be looking at now, where do we go from this point going forward? Which are some of the hot button areas? Which cabinet secretaries do not have an easy time? Which cabinet secretaries will have to really prove themselves in terms of service delivery, as well as cleaning up the house that they are coming into service for, right? Yeah, so that is what we shall be discussing today. Remember, you can get in touch with us on our social media handles. We are at Power Radio across Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, as well as X, and you can also catch this live broadcast on our YouTube channel. We are at Power Radio. If you have not yet subscribed, kindly do so. It would really go a long way for us. And also you can catch this live broadcast on our website. We are www.power254.org/Power Radio. Let's get some music. I'll be back as we continue with our as we kick off with our discussion for this morning. Keep it Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Mbale. The way I run this town, you can think I'm Kale. Mad tracks, aka my song in every party. Tangu 207 mini yule chale. Dem yako nafanye akuwe klande. Alafu through pass kwa the council. It ain't no fun kama boys wa party. If you know alirudi kwa komande. Hey,
respect your elders. I started singing when you were still in diapers. I'm a magician. Kwa mziki bado touch yet to me Midas. We dress the kid with so much sex appeal. tell my rival. Nameless cancel about a viral.
Kid Kora ni moto wa kuotia mbale. Moto wa kuotia mbale. Meza ni moto wa kuotia mbale. Moto wa kuotia mbale. The cancel ni moto wa kuotia mbale. Moto wa kuotia mbale. Genge ni moto wa kuotia mbale. Yo, moto wa kuotia mbale. Yo, na kuanzia kawaze wa kale. Mtakata Mungu ni shati ya iname. Namba 7 apewe mate. Uliza manzi yangu mahaba ni nare. Ukini cross lazima nkuvae. Nimetoka ghetto Nyeri Rwade. Nina umajengo kuliko wale. Mini mruri nite mgenge.
So it's about that time y'all got to know about that cool kid Cora with that real nice flow, with them real nice caps and the real nice sneaks. I still hang with good guys and sleep with bad chicks. I'm hot, that fire, that fever. I still make the beats that bomb speakers. So I say wakiuliza kwani nani how, just know the cancel about to bring the house down.
Nameless ni moto wa kuotia mbale. Moto wa kuotia mbale. Matrax ni moto wa kuotia mbale. Moto wa kuotia mbale. Kora ni moto wa kuotia mbale. Moto wa kuotia mbale. Meza ni moto wa kuotia mbale. Moto wa kuotia mbale. Ni mtoto wa Hadija Okonkwo. Ule msochomaga Ongwelo. Muimbia watu wa mtaani. Nisipo waimbia taimbiwa na nani?
The council sema kukua awesome. Motea moto mbale, hiyo ni caution. Madi amepanda bass siku hizi for some. Wanapenda taste kama bubblegum. Namtani Ridgeways na jina ni DK CK, that cool kid on the replay. Producer na DJ Ketepa na PK. Who run this town utadhani ni GK.
It's moto, fire by the place. It's fire, cancel the nameless. You better follow the leaders. Take over airwaves, no marker virus.
I said the council. Hey, I said the council.
Follow the leaders.
I said the council. I said the council.
No marker virus.
I said the nameless. The council. I said the Cora.
Follow the
council. I said the major. The council. I said the matrix.
No marker
council. Hey.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Our radio.
I wish. Just a little bit, yeah.
The money make me fly like a kite. I wish the money make me fly like a kite. I wish the money make me fly like a kite. I wish the money make me fly like a kite.
Fresh like the sea, Bora Uhai, c'est la vie. All of these roads lead you to me. Make me spend all my money for peace and quiet mystery. Forbidden fruit is out of reach. I've got a hunch, a certainty. You make me spend all my money. Dice, a slap on the cheek, the thrill of the chase ends in defeat. If we are survivors, then we try harder. Most of my life I've been asleep. Who will I hold? Who will I keep? All of this talk is way too deep. I need to spend all my money. that money make me fly like a kite. I wish that money make me fly like a kite. I wish that money make me fly like a kite. I wish that money make me fly like a kite.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
I want for the money, do for the show. Leaks. I want for the money, do for the show. And I boy, see baby now we are two in one. We are two in one. When I'm away you call on me, I call on you. Nikikumiss nakamu through. Yeah, to pick you. Cause baby now we are two in one. Yeah, we are two in one. Oh na na. I want for the money. I want for the money. Nikki Wambali says he concentrate. Oh baby girl you got a hold on me. Kuku hata kidogo nkani every day. Baby wacha muteso ebu come my way. You make a grown man sad for sure. Kaujajua mami now you know. Ukiona mi wanishika mo. Ndani mpaka kwa roho. Oh baby come slowly, go slowly, yeah. My electric shock won't shock you. Come slowly, go slowly, yeah. See baby now we are two in one. We are two in one. When I'm away you call on me, I call on you. Nikikumiss nakamu through. Yeah, to pick you. Cause baby now we are two in one. Yeah, we are two in one. Oh na na. I want for the money. Kitabu akasome, yeah. Wamalize na mayowe, wanaleta chuki oh baby looky fine. Key design, come slowly, go slowly, yeah. My electric shock won't shock you. Come slowly, go slowly, yeah. See baby now we are two in one. We are two in one. When I'm away you call on me, I call on you. Nikikumiss nakamu through. Yeah, to pick you. Cause baby now we are two in one. Yeah, we are two in one. Oh na na. I want for the money. I look at you baby. You dig me, pull it. I feel you baby. You feel me, pull it. Everything about you, baby, I'm loving it. Show this. Oh, you complete me, I complete you. See, baby, now we are two in one. We are two in one. When I'm away, you call on me, I call on you. Nikikumiss nakamu through. Yeah, to pick you. Cause baby, now we are two in one. Yeah, we are two in one. Oh, na na. I want for the money.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
2 in 1, and it's playing right here on that's Night Boy, I should say, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike, and now let's get into it. So we have our story of the day, the main story. And by the way, the vetting process is still continuing. Yes, I've just peeped, and right now they are vetting Mr. Karanja, who is the nominee of agriculture. But of course, we will get to know what will come out of this on Monday. So on our Monday show, we might probably continue with the discussions from today's vetting process as well. But let's get into now our day's conversation, and we're just looking at the vetting process of the cabinet secretaries and what has been happening, with the onset of the the protest that saw the president William Ruto reshuffling some of his cabinet secretaries, some of them fired absolutely from the ministries, and also we have new entrants. So that's why we have a vetting process to so that it could open up what could potentially be the next cabinet secretary faces of the ministry of the Ruto-led administration. Now, let's start with something interesting. We want to look at the declarations of the wealth of these specific cabinet secretaries. We have let's start with the net worth of Miss Soipan Tuya, Defense Cabinet Secretary nominee. She said that her net worth was 156 million Kenya shillings from net worth, and now she is grossing at 243 million Kenya shillings. We have the Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki of Internal Security, 544 million shillings, and that was before. And now he sits at 694 million shillings. We also have the Deborah Barasa, Health Cabinet Secretary nominee, grossing at 455 million Kenya shillings. We have Julius Migosi, Education Cabinet Secretary nominee, grossing at 790 million shillings. And finally, we have Alice Wahome from 218 million Kenya shillings and now grossing at 327 million Kenya shillings. So first of all, I need to work hard. Yep, that's the first thing. That is a very serious matter. I need to work harder in this life so that I could state my wealth in its millions and it be said without faltering. That's very important. It's a matter of national concern that myself, as Wanyoike, needs to declare her wealth in its millions without being banished or something like that. But something interesting now that we would love to look at is there were some concerns about this the public wealth declarations. One of the issues that were raised even just within circles of social media, and especially Kenyans on X, they were asking about tax compliance, It's amazing, it's great if you have that much money, but and it's not really about the wealth, yeah? First of all, it seems like it's a prerequisite for you to be able to run for any cabinet secretary job. I think there's a pattern here. The pattern is that you have to be absolutely wealthy. But I want to state that, you could be wealthy, but it does not necessarily negate the fact that corruption would be something that is prevalent in your tenure as a leader, right? So them declaring their wealth, of course, it is for them, like it's important for them to be able to come and state what their wealth public wealth declaration is. But we needed to see more exhaustive and rigorous questioning in terms of tax compliance, right? And it's really not about the money. It's about what could be behind the money, yeah? So we have things like tax compliance, and one thing about wealth is that it will always give us a bearing as to what we should expect, right? And so there were no questions about their tax compliance as well. Once Ms. Soipan was asked how did she get from 156 million shillings to 243 million shillings, she said that she had, acquired some assets in the city. We also had her saying things like her asset had also appreciated as well. And so again, there was not a lot of like a very keen critical questioning as to the integrity behind her. Well, then I'm not accusing her or anyone in the cabinet secretary. I mean, who am I to even, but because this is public officers. These are public officers that are going to be holding public office, and so it's very pertinent for us to deal with integrity matters. And I'm saying that money is not, them being made to declare their wealth publicly is not necessarily the It's not the main point. The main point is what that money represents, either how they got that wealth and can they account how they got that wealth. So that's one of the things, because again, we do not want to start seeing us reinventing the wheel and putting people in positions of power only for them to embezzle the funds. And I did say earlier on that them having this amount of money is not necessarily going to stop them from embezzling more public money. We have seen this countless times. So again, I would rather have somebody who does not have all that much money. Of course, they might get there and get confused and end up blowing all the money of the public finance. But the main point here is to ensure that we have accountable people, that when by the time we are asking for them to account for their money, let them account for the ways that they've gotten that money. If indeed these are clean ways, they say there's clean money, that means they've gotten them from legally gotten their wealth and accumulated their wealth as well. And then of course, things to do with the statements, for example, bank statements. Those are some of the things that should be able to be tabled before any plenary or any panel of vetting. Well, we do this kind of very high profile, high level vetting processes, and especially when it comes to cabinet secretaries. And then of course, something else that was also displeasing to Kenyans was that, Gen Zs had said that they would love to be part of the grilling process. We did not see even one representative, hata kama ile token too, I know that we don't like tokenistic approaches to anything, but this time around we would have loved at least to see one or two young people, and especially people from the Gen Z generation, because this whole thing kind of started with them. And I mean, you can do a little thing for them to be in the room. You know why it matters? It matters because, one, it shows that the government is listening to its people. Because if you're going to be a democracy that is functioning as a democracy, then the people's opinions should matter. And even though it might be a small suggestion or a small thing as having 2 or 3 or 10 Gen Zs coming to the table and getting their voices heard, that goes a long way, because it represents that a government is not just doing things in the clouds, but it is doing things with the heart and the mind that it is called to serve its people and its people for a greater good. So those are some of the things and some of the issues that I also had while I was watching the whole vetting process as well. And then we have something interesting here. The memoranda. Now it is required by this section of the Public Act and Public Office Act that we should have memoranda that is sent in case of any maybe contestations, for example, of these cabinet secretaries. There should be contestation, thank you, I beg your pardon, from either members of the public and as well as anyone who might want to petition against some of the cabinet secretaries that were on the grilling table yesterday. So from that, just yesterday, we had a whopping 1,638 memoranda in total in opposing the nominations of these cabinet secretaries. Out of that, 1,638 memoranda, 92 petitions were against Kipchumba Murkomen. He was the former cabinet secretary of roads and transportation. Now he's in the cabinet secretary of youth and sports. And then after that, so of course you can tell already 92 people petitioned, and those are just what we know. Those are just some of the things that the memoranda that we know that have been reported, at least in public domain. Who knows what they stated? Who knows what some of them are? And of course, some of the memoranda that I from yesterday's conversation, I was watching the news gang on Citizen. They were saying that some of the memoranda included job applications from Kenyans, sent straight to this cabinet secretary. So there's also a desperation there from Kenyans, not only to sort of contest some of their nominations, but also wanting jobs, because again, we would not be here if things were going the way they should be going in the government, and so to speak. And then after that, following closely was 72 memoranda contesting against Ali Hassan Joho, Cabinet Secretary, Mining and Economy. We had 69 against Aiden Duale, Forestry and Climate, Cabinet Secretary nominee, 68 for Kadhure Kindiki, Ministry of Interior, Chirchir David, 58 petitions for roads. We have Soipan Tuya, 48 memoranda contesting against her nomination as well into the defense ministry. Alice Wahome, 40 petitions contesting against her. She's the cabinet secretary nominee for lands. We have John Mbadi, treasury cabinet secretary, following with 31. And we also have Alfred Mutua, 23 memoranda contesting his nomination. And lastly but not least, we have education cabinet secretary Ogamba Julius with 21 memoranda. All right, so that clearly, the writing is on the wall. The writing is absolutely on the wall. By the time somebody like Murkomen is getting 92 contestations and petitions against his nomination into the youth cabinet secretary position, it means that, one, Kenyans have lost their faith in some of these names, right? And we do not know what is going to happen. The memoranda can be written, but it does not necessarily mean automatically that now these nominees are done away with. The House has to go back to order, and from their vetting processes, they also have to meet again, face the committee again, and now decide what will happen to these people. But it's quite interesting that so many people had decided to send their memoranda in contestation of some of these cabinet secretary nominees, right? Because, one, I know it's a reshuffle because, again, I had mentioned that we would have expected that some cabinet secretaries were going to be reinstated or reincarnated into various different cabinet secretary ministries. And it just goes to show that Kenyans are not taking it lying down, right? That sometimes it's not, there's a saying that goes, politics and leadership is the personal is the political, and the political is the personal. And what I got from this is that sometimes it's really never about the position or the ministry that somebody is being nominated into. Sometimes it's really about the person, the holder of the office. And for a case like Kipchumba Murkomen, for him, we can for sure tell that it is about the person. People do not sort of have this. I guess he does not excite Kenyans in terms of giving him the opportunity to even lead. We saw his very poor performance during his tenure as the cabinet secretary of roads and transport. A lot of infrastructural debacles were going on there. A lot of malfunction and dysfunction while he was there, while at the same time flaunting his 900,000 or whatever worth of his watches. And so if we can see that for some people, it's very clear that the message is very clear. They are not at whatsoever interested in having some people repeated into this cabinet secretariat. And of course, what also one has to note is that we do have accountability institutions, and if like it's, and then of course it's political. As I said, it's very political. By the time some nominations are done, it's really not even about what their competencies are. Sometimes it's just about safeguarding political interest, and I'm not going to mention names, but you can see again the writing is very much on the wall. That's why you end up having people who are so far removed from whatever is happening. And then, no, that is going to be the next conversation. We are going to be talking about how some don't even seem to be knowing about any issues pertaining their ministries as well. And this was actually a frustration from the president in the last vetting process that was held in August of 2023. He did state about some of these frustrations, which we shall be talking about shortly. But let me get into a musical break. And then when I come back, we continue our discussion. Today, we are looking at the vetting process of the cabinet secretaries. What are some of the wins? What are some of the losses, if at all? Do you feel that this process has been rigorous enough? Do let us know on our social media handles, and we will be sure to read that out and answer some of the questions if at all you have any questions. But more keenly, I know the process is also ongoing today, so I'm going to be burying myself into the vetting process to see what are some of the key issues that will arise from this second cohort of the vetting process of the cabinet secretaries. And then I know we shall get into a more detailed conversation on Monday as well. But for now, let me get some break, and I will see you on the other side of the musical break. Keep it 100% Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Nimetoka mbali na machali na mamanzi hadi I need them my fam today. And anything them I need for me come unconditionally love today. I give my all for them. Them are right for me all the way. And if you say you never did it, then you never really did it. You're the fam today.
Glass, Cuba nazo zimewaka. Cash, wecha fua hapa. Shot after shot ni long night. Meza iko mesi tuna ball na bako za baka. Pay the price, wecha leo mini nice. Mbota ni presidential hakuna mavice. Dondo bado ni ile bado tuna rise. See the feeling is amazing when you choose wise. Bado nashika na washikaji wa back then. Front row na mistari zilichorwa backbench. Walitupa bu before watupe shangwe. Sa tumefika. Ona chorus.
Nimetoka mbali na machali na mamanzi hadi I need them my fam today. And anything them I need for me come unconditionally love today. I give my all for them. Them are right for me all the way. And if you say you never did it, then you never really did it. You're the fam today. Fam today. Fam today. Fam today. You're the fam today. Fam today. Fam today. Fam today. You're the fam today.
From today, mi ndio form today. Mifanya ngoma kali mi ndio sonkore. Kopendi ngoma zangu basi go away. Mushinda kama Red Bull nikifly. So nipate kwa bank, nikibank madola. Mfuke pigi tizi jo inanona. Na haikuwa hivi yani ni mola. Sasa ona all my guys are ballers.
Girl them, Leonie Nado. Show up tonight, tunadili dalido. Man them, Leonie na phone. Pull up tonight, kuna mizinga waruro. Girl them, Leonie Nado. Show up tonight, tunadili dalido. Man them, Leonie na phone. Pull up tonight, kuna mizinga waruro. From today, from today, from today, you know, from today, from today, from today, from today, you know, from today, from today, from today, from today, you know, from today, from today, from today, from today, you know, from today. Nimetoka mbali na machali na mamanzi hadi I need them my fam today. And anything them I need for me come unconditionally love today. I give my all for them. Them are right for me all the way. And if you say you never did it, then you never really did it. You're the fam today.
kosa si kosa, makosa ni kurudia. Pole sana kama umevumilia, tulikosana nikaomba ungenirudia, ukanikana hadharani mbele ya dunia.
Beti lichomeka, zima moto hawakusaidia, ndege ya vieta kianguka hawakunyambia, saizi liona ona na sikufuatilia, jirani alikuteka mali yangu wakanikulia. Ni sawa,
umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa, ningenyamaza yote tisa, but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa.
Uko sure ndo mwenye unataka uko sure
ni sawa.
Uko sure unaweza sema with your chest uko sure,
but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa, ni sawa, ni sawa.
Nomba on your wedding day, stima zipote, upate fat fingers, ringi sitoshe.
Your boyfriend akubaye kadogi ukidhani nika cute kakuume.
Mother-in-law na father-in-law wakuchukie wakikuona,
unadhani yeni catch kumbe yeni spam donor. Yoni nini unabonya?
My lord, I wonder, but as long as you're happy wena wependa kenye unapenda, imeenda.
Ni sawa, umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa, ningenyamaza yote tisa, but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa.
Uko sure ndo mwenye unataka uko sure
ni sawa.
Uko sure unaweza sema with your chest uko sure,
but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa.
Jealousy, always comparing myself to you. Sometimes I feel like I overdo. Sometimes I feel like I'm over you. Singing I feel like I have no clue. Singing the miwaga moods. Sometimes I act a fool. Singing nina choma sana. Sometimes tunakosana. Sometimes I act too cool. Singing you act a fool. Sometimes you drive me crazy. I swear I drive you crazy. Consistent, consistency, consistent, consistently, consistent, consistency, consistent, consistent, day, 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 day by day, day, day by day, 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 day by day, day, day by day, day, day by day, 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 day by day, day, day by day, 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 day by day. Consistent, consistently. Anxiety, naanza tabia za self-sabotage. Naanza tabia za overjudge. Naanza kujifungia, naanza kujikazia. Mwenzi hiyo nafunga hisia. Sometimes I feel so blue, sometimes I have no clue. Saa ingine unachoma sana, sometimes tunakosana. Saa ingine ninapotea, sometimes unanikosea. Sometimes you drive me crazy, I swear I drive you crazy. Consistent, consistency, consistent, consistently, consistent, consistency, consistent, consistent, day, 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 day by day, day, day by day, 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 day by day, day, day by day, day, day by day, 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 day by day, day, day by day, 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 day by day. Consistent, consistently.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
This is epic sound. Extra pressure, baby, when you wind and pause. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy. Extra pressure, baby, when you wind and pause. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy. I had to put my life on pause and follow you where you're going. And if I make you my business, I suffer no loss. Cause I'm in love and it's showing. No force, can't separate. Baby, no law, keep me away. I take you on tour. Pretty baby, I give you something to live for. My girl, extra pressure, baby, when you wind and pause. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy. Extra pressure, baby, when you wind and pause. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy.
Bread and butter, gold when you wine them and them scatter. And we wine got the moves like chatter, reggae and ragga.
Slow down, baby, before you get my babies. You gon' make the man them go crazy. Akecha kucheka na mimi neza bako kose kuamini. You say you wanna bam bam with me. You say you wanna chop my money. You say you wanna call me daddy. Oh, I can be a sugar daddy, mama. I can put you on top, put you in a song. Yeah, baby, chop and chop, don't stop.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Extra Pressure by Bien and Ben Soul, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. Yeah, you could say extra pressure is mounting in cabinet secretary vetting process. It's still ongoing even right now. If you want to log on to mainstream media, you can check that out. It's going on. But before I went on a break, I was talking about some of the issues that were arising from yesterday's vetting process, with the Kenyans' reactions being that some cabinet secretary nominees were not quite aware of some of the things and the issues that their ministries or the ministries that they have been nominated into look like. And, you know, that it's not the first time that we are seeing such an occurrence. You will remember that last year during the same kind of vetting process, President William Ruto was very frustrated by some of the members of his now disbanded cabinet secretary members, when he was saying that some of them don't even have no clue of what's happening because they were doing unregulated trips outside the country. And then when it comes to the answering to what is happening within their ministries, some of them seemed to have absolutely no clue. And so he was quite frustrated by some of those things. And of course, something else is that corruption allegations amongst some of these cabinet secretary nominees. And of course, Kenyans want integrity, and they want these members to be held to account as to so while we talk about the vetting process, we cannot talk about it without talking about like how it should be structured, right? And what are some of the things that the vetting process should be able to establish amongst the public and across the nation. Some of the things that the vetting process should be able to capture is the track record of these leaders, because I know some of them are not new people. They have been in power, they've been in positions of power before, and so we would love to see an adequate report of a track record that shows that this is the repertoire of this cabinet secretary nominees. And then from that point, we assess whether they are fit to continue with their nomination and whether they accept they are acceptable in to run the ministries that they have been nominated into. And then something else that we would also love to see is at least this time around, there has been some readjustments here and there. Like, for example, Dr. Baraza, Deborah Barasa, the Cabinet Secretary of Health, at least the nominee, as we could put it. I mean, I read earlier, her competence area is within the health area, and this is something that she went to school, studied. She's also currently pursuing an MSc in health as well, in tropical health to be specific. And so some of the issues that also will be arising from this vetting process is that the competencies of these cabinet secretaries is something that should be discussed quite deeply and exhaustively, because we do not want to see a situation where cabinet secretaries have been nominated into positions, yet their background is absolutely, like, they do not even have a clue of what even happens in certain areas that they have been nominated into. And so so that is something that of course Kenyans are demanding for proper mechanisms to ensure that we, from this point going forward, we do have very competent people, not just qualified, because qualified, you can be qualified, but you can be qualified for the wrong job. So qualified and competent, and people who are people of integrity, people who understand their role as cabinet secretaries, people who home affairs come to them first, not just after every trip that is set out to happen outside. They are out there not understanding and stewarding the offices that they have been given back here at home. So it's gonna be an interesting day. I know the president has a very busy month to just kind of align and realign and move things here and there to ensure that his cabinet and his house is in order. Of course, there's a big other thing that all eyes will be on: the cabinet secretaries of the ODM side of life, the opposition side of things, right? One of the key hot button areas is John Mbadi, who is the cabinet secretary nominee for the Treasury. A lot of eyes are going to be on him. A lot of discussions are going to also be on him, because he doesn't just represent the Treasury, but also him being a part of the opposition party. ODM raises some few issues here and there, some few concerns, of course, among Kenyans here and there. One of them being, now that you are in opposition, you're in opposition, but then again in a twist of events, you made it to the cabinet secretary nominations. What does that portend? For one, because opposition holds the powers that be accountable. Now that the opposition itself is in the government, does this mean that it is opposing itself, right? Because that's what it's a play on words here. It's like the opposition is opposing itself. And what would then it mean for the opposition members to work effectively, and what would that look like in terms of, yes, being subservient to the people of Kenya? Because as John Mbadi, him being nominated into the treasury, it means that he has to deliver on his services. But then again, does that mean that he has to absolutely throw away and do away with his this other side of opposition? Can the two coexist at once? And so that is the question that most Kenyans are asking. Can you be an opposition leader who is also active in the public, in the government, in the administration, concurrently, as it were, as it is, right? And so it's gonna be interesting to see how he navigates that, and of course among his other opposition members that will make it into the administration, the current administration. With you know, of course, this is an attempt by President William Ruto to institute what he terms as a government of national unity, or a broad-based government, which one of the things that he decided to do as a power and strategy move was to include the opposition in his cabinet. And so it would be interesting to see what that would portend. And of course, politics we can never really be way hands off when it comes to politicking in this country. So even when it comes to nominations like the cabinet secretaries, we've seen that President William Ruto did come under fire for appointing some politicians into his cabinet, and we know that you don't necessarily have to have political heads in cabinet, because it's not one of those areas where we have to have like a siding of political parties. Would I say just active politics, right? But again, there's nothing like you can't do anything without politics, because politics do run how this country runs. Politics inform a lot of how we make decisions. Politics is about, decisions are about politics. Running the cabinet is also political, very heavily political. But the criticism here from Kenyans was that they do not want, again, to see politicians going into positions of power and replicating the same, mundane ways of doing things into the ministries that they have been elected, because there has to be a stark difference between how politics run and also how the ministries run. But again, we are only in the beginning stages of this refined, reshuffled, and of course renewed, quote-unquote, cabinet secretary, and what would potentially form the cabinet secretary of the Ruto administration from, this period until the 2027 elections. Then from that we see who takes on the next term as well. So yeah, those are some of the key issues that we would be on the lookout for. I do want to go and look at what is happening right now at the ongoing vetting processes. I did mention that the second cohort is continuing right now as we speak. And then I know on Monday we are going to get into some of the things that and the key issues that rise from this conversation of the vetting of the cabinet secretaries. But that's all the time that I had for you, that we had the time for you today on the Power Morning Drive Show. Kama kawaida, we do this again on Monday from 8 a.m. till 10 a.m. as we look at the state of the nation. We look at, what is happening in the world of politics, what is happening in governance as well, and what is happening currently in the world as well. So thank you so much to everybody who was able to tune into the Power Morning Drive Show. It is officially the weekend, and I hope that you have yourself a very fantastic and awesome weekend. I know the cold is slowly fading out of now that you are in August, but do all you can to keep yourself warm. As for me and the entire team right here at Pawa Radio, we do bid you goodbye. We will see you on Monday, but do not go away because She Talks show will be coming at 11 a.m. and of course that's a rerun. And then we have Miss Flo Z. She will be giving us the nice reggae vibes, dancehall topics of discussion as well. I know the World Boss has been released from prison, so a lot has been happening in the world of dancehall. Everybody is raving about Vibes Cartel, so she will be giving us the down low on that and so much more. Reggae music, of course, being part of the package on Ital Groove from 4 to 6 p.m. So you do want to stick around for that. But for me, from now, it's a goodbye. See you guys. Now, apenda wo tutaonana Monday. Adios.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Dida, leo ni holiday. We can show us it na reason. Niko na reason ya ku club. Niko na reason ya snap. Oh, niko na reason ya hands up. Oh. Soda labda pare Christmas tukule mchele dodo labda hare Krishna lakini sai neza kula chenye na wishman nikitaka naweza kula mchele na kichwa ya fish hakuna kitu ngumu kwa Jesus anaweza kutuona he can see us kama liokoa wanaume 10K anaweza koa wanaume TM K nati O Okay, waseme it's okay, devil nitoke, anaweza koa hata mwana fe awe mtoto wetu, o mwana we, fue in Christ, ambie devil, bado nipo kwanza, si only before, nibadilishe people mwanza, niko na reason yaku club niko na reason ya snap. Oh, niko na reason ya hands up. Oh, club. Oh, snap. Oh, hands up. Niko blessed, nimebariki. Skiza flow mbichi ya ma punchline na ma pose so soothing naza fanya mtoto adoze ni HD na Echo D da tuna star ga tukistar niko na reason ya kusmile ka wako I woke up na meno bado ziko niko na reason ya kubounce na swagger ziki comes imekam I guess I was a feature I chose hip-hop they said I was crazy now they singing my songs like karaoke nilijua kuna God wa ajabu my underdogs wanna shine ka ababu na mwamba ameshuka nimebarikiwa nimeonekaniwa Africa stand up rise and shine this is 2009 niko na reason ya ku club niko na reason ya snap. Oh, niko na reason ya hands up. Oh, club. Oh, snap. Oh, hands up. Niko blessed, nimebarikiwa. HD na Echo D HD na Echo D expose ENT snap. Oh, niko na